Girl. Hello, I'm James Allen, a nice little guest host for Girl Global, and today I have Adam All and Apple Derrieres. Yeah, is that all right? Yeah, all right. Yeah. So, how are we both today?
Sweaty.
Glorious.
Very good though. Happy. But glad to be back here. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, I'm having a lovely time. I've made many friends.
I have to say, your performance today was absolutely incredible. I think at one point you were looking at me as if you need to be waving. I felt like you were staring into my soul, and I was watching the screen at the back, and I was like mesmerized for so long, and that everyone else around me was like doing this. And I was like, what is going on? But it's incredible. So, just off cuff a little bit. How did you two actually meet?
Oh, actually, we met at uni. Many eons ago.
Yeah, in Alsacia.
Or Hellsager, as we like to call it.
Let's not be mean about Alsacia.
Okay,
it was
it's
just
fine.
the university campus was pretty grotty.
Yes,
but we
we're
found
fine.
love in a hopeless place. There's a song. There's a song there.
There's a song. Did you write it?
No.
No. Okay.
And what is your favourite thing about performing at Totally Drag?
Going on at the right. No, I'm joking. It's a really wonderful atmosphere. There's so many cool people here. It's always like really high energy and lots of fun. So many things, so many reasons. It's great.
I've got to say it, and I'm not saying so they book me next year. Book us next year.
Book us next year.
But the team at Totally Drag is so lovely. Mark's an absolute sweetheart, and everybody that looks after you, they really care, and they can't do enough for you.
That's really nice.
And there's a lovely minibar.
Yeah.
Yes, some of the other Girl Global hosts have been enjoying the minibar far too much, I would say.
All night.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about the gradual rise of kings and female performers, coming across the UK?
I think it's fantastic. It's been a long time coming. We've been quite a big part of helping that happen, actually, with our night Boy Box, which is an all drag king cabaret show that we hosted now for 10 years. And watching things change, watching the global scene change has been really fantastic. Drag kings are huge across the whole world. There's literally thousands of us, and I think what's wonderful is that mainstream audiences are starting to wake up to the unique talents that we have in the drag king community. So I think it's only up from here. I think it can only get better. It's very exciting.
So how about you? How do you feel about obviously the rise of kings and female performers?
I think it's wonderful. I mean, I think there's so much talent out there, and there is, I mean, across the board, there's such variety in drag anyway, and there are just so many incredible drag kings and queens, that don't fit, a particular aesthetic. We love it. We loved Victoria's Skull, who's in our dressing room, on Canada versus the world. There's just so many people doing incredible things. You look at the West End, our Louis Cypher on the West End, who we love. There's just so many people doing brilliant stuff.
And there's so much to say as well, because what we sometimes can forget with drag is that there's quite a lot of politics behind what we're doing. It's about gender, and it's about talking about society and how it perceives people and gender. And we have as much to say as the male performers. Male body performers out there. So I think it's about time we had a bit more of a voice.
And I think that we need to really address the kind of inherent misogyny that there is within the drag and drag language sometimes, and it is kind of punching down at, female body bits or AFAB body bits, like boobie shaming, and all of that stuff, and, vagina slurs. And, I think that we actually need to correct that within our drag community. We need to think,
absolutely.
Why are we laughing at a breastplate? Why is that funny? Think about it. It's all part of the system, and I think drag can be such an empowering genre. And I think that if we just do a little bit better, we could liberate even more people, because that's what it's about. It's about freedom and expression, and people being who they are and feeling empowered in who they are. So. Stop the movie jokes!
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And to say, I've never seen a drag king live, and you were both incredible, but to see you do what you did, and put on such a good show, but it was just so it was nice to see something so different, and I really appreciated what you were obviously both trying to do. So I just wanted to say that.
Try.
No,
you
nailed it.
I'm being silly.
So Adam, so as a king who's toured the UK, how has the reception been for you?
I have a really fun time touring the UK. I think the kind of drag that I've designed specifically is to kind of spell it out. So Adam's the aesthetic that I've chosen, the way that I do what I do is to kind of say what a drag king kind of baseline point is. It's like, here you go, here's a nice cutout, let's look at that. The drag king scene is very varied and hugely exciting, and people have loads of different ideas of what drag king is. I would say I'm kind of like the gateway drug of drag kings, the opening door, the entry point. That would be I'd be a good opening point. I think I have a great time. I tend to be received really quite well. We have a lot of fun. I think it's still going to take a little while before people really can read all of the stuff that's underneath. But surface level, they're getting it.
Also, I think it's really wonderful with Adam's drag. I mean, obviously, I'm a fan, married it. But, you know, we actually find like a lot of like, you know, gay guys coming up to Adam and saying, actually, I really see a lot of myself in your performance.
And straight guys, actually.
Yeah, and actually, because I think that Adam's drag really discusses and deconstructs toxic masculinity. And that's actually something that is trapping for so many people. And sometimes I think that we have kind of the stick without the carrot, but actually I think the carrot is sometimes really, really helpful, just to say, actually, let's celebrate nutritious masculinity. let's celebrate, you know, beautiful masculinity, and also celebrate a maleness that doesn't belong just to men, you know, non-binary people, etc. So there's so much.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And like drag, what you both do is such an art form, but it's a celebration of who we are as people, right? We're all just people, yeah? And this doesn't matter who you are, how you identify it. It's such an art form, and how you've done it and how you portray it is just so unique. So Apple, how about you? How as a female performer, how has your reception been?
Because I mean, I'm almost doing this 10 years now, and it was a little bit rocky at the first. I won't mention. I mean, some of the bars. I mean, I literally almost got aggressively started on in a few of them because people were really angry, and felt threatened by, for lack of a better term, by female-bodied drag queens, and so there was a bit. It's been an interesting journey, but I think that once other drag performers understand that you actually have a vehicle and you have things that you want to say. For me, a lot of my drag is about, you know, as I said, like spinning the booby jokes and, you know, finding empowering narratives about bodies and boobies and periods and all of the kind of things that people want to shove in the bin, and actually also being a strong woman that's not a bitch, because that's a whole other thing. So like, you know, it's a journey, and we're getting there. On the whole, I've had a good time, but you know, I think we need to celebrate everybody within the drag community. And
thankfully,
follow me on Instagram.
Thankfully, we've had each other, so that's been quite handy as well, hasn't it? So we've got through it together.
We have.
That's been good.
So that does lead on to the next question, actually. So what advice would you give to queer youth today, and sort of, you know, how to not identify themselves as such, but like how to maneuver the world that they're obviously going to be going into, or they are in at the moment?
I think that how can you give advice to?
They all know so much, don't they?
They know a lot more than we do, to be fair. So it's definitely a very different world. But there's a lot of strange politics flying around at the moment. People think they know, and then they start chucking abusive language at people because they've heard something on the news, or they've read something in a newspaper, but they haven't actually met anyone before, so they don't actually know what they're talking about, which is a bit odd. But I would say that just you can only be yourself.
I think also social media is really, really dangerous, and you have to be really careful with it, because actually what social media does through its algorithms is it polarizes your view. So I think that you have to be really, really careful to be sure that you're getting the full picture, because actually it's really dangerous the way now that we just
click on one thing, that's all you'll see. You won't see the opposing
so I think
opinion.
Be really careful with social media and what you see on your news
and what you
stuff.
post as well, because you don't have to share everything with everybody all of the time. That's not
Sometimes
really how it exists.
it's great to go to a show and watch the show, not
rather than film it.
Guess what? You're not going to watch it back. Just be there. I think I think mindfulness is so important. I feel like everybody, ourselves included, through lockdown, we had a time when we were all online all the time, more so, and we've come out of that and we're still locked into that. And I think we're all, you know, anxiety is at a peak, but then I'm walking through the world and everyone's like this, glued onto their phones. You know? Be in the world, experience it.
Yeah, be in the world.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Don't be frightened to be yourself. But remember that some people don't get it, and you don't have to teach them. It's not up to you. So I think I would say, stay strong to who you are.
Don't worry if you're not
And
everyone's
don't-
cup of tea.
Yeah, don't worry about being everyone's cup
You'll
of tea.
be someone's.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then what they could take from, from the two of you is like authenticity is key. Yeah. And that's what matters. And that's how you two have become so good and successful at what you do and done it for so long. Authenticity is the most important part. Anyway, last bit. Sorry to go on so much. What is next for the both of you?
So much, so exciting. This year we're celebrating 10 years of Boy Box, and we're doing shows all over the place for that. We've got a lot going on with Pride in London, specifically for Boy Box 10th birthday, but lots of other things as well.
Loads of prize all over the place.
Oh,
This is probably
goodness.
Pride season.
Pride season, here we go.
We're doing another amazing show with English Heritage, which we love because we love seeing museums and historic, organisations that wouldn't necessarily like have queer stuff going on. We love seeing, true allyship and people getting behind that. So we're doing queer walls at Elton Palace.
Yep.
That's next month.
That's
we got loads
gonna
of
be
things.
really fun. Yeah, that's gonna be really fun.
Follow us on social media
Follow us
to
on the
find out
socials.
more.
Yeah. Where can they find you? Tell us all.
Best place to find me is my Instagram, so it's AdamAll_drag.
And I think mine's at Apple Derrieres.
You're just Apple Derrieres.
Yeah,
aren't
there you
you?
go. Apple. APPLEDERRIERES.
Well done. I was really worried.
I thought I was going to spell that wrong. That was really intense, wasn't it?
It was too much.
Well, there we go. They're booked and busy, and get following to see what they're up to.
Thank you.
Oh, girl.